Hey guys, so I got Jackson bed and Riley promised to be quiet, so I want to get this video done real quick so I can start cleaning and rearranging the craft room. I'm hoping to have it all done in 2 to 3 days, and then I will start on the fairy kit, the December kit from Hero Arts, because I know come New Year's, which is in a few days, that the January kit for Hero Arts is going to be coming out. So let's get started. I zoomed in a little bit so you guys wouldn't see what a mess my desk is, but before we started, I wanted to show you. Riley made me a shaker card after she got her desk and her craft stuff for Christmas. Isn't that adorable? She even put the foam tape and a piece of acetate on it. Not bad for a 5-year-old. And then she had Lindsay help her write inside. Okay, so card number 1. I did the die, the silhouette die of the little figure ice skater. 1 second, Riley is already out here asking me a question. What's up?
Are you showing my Todd?
I already showed it. Now go out in the living room, please. Okay, so it's a thanks card, but I didn't use the stamps. I used the Lawn Fawn thanks stamp that I got and the stuff from scrapbook.com for Christmas. And I did that with some of the blue paper that came in the kit, and then I covered it with clear glitter embossing powder. So I made her a spinner card. I tried to give her a face. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, so as you can see, I do not like her nose. I kept trying to go over it and go over it to try to get it the way I wanted it, and it just looks like she's got a big schnoz now. So I probably won't ever do that again. The rest of her body turned out okay. You know, the lines are pretty much already there for you. And I just die cut 2 of them. First I'll show you. So she spins. It's on craft, and I used another piece. Actually, I think the dark blue was on the back of this pattern paper. And then I cut it out with my oval die. I used my pearlescent watercolors to do her body and face. And then a black gel pen, jelly roll pen for her eyes and mouth. And I just stamped out thanks for my gift, and I used a little bit of the Hero Arts unicorn ink to ink around there. And that's it for card 1. Card 2 is not a card. Whenever I see tags, I think of bookmarks, because almost every girl in this family loves to read. So I did 3 bookmarks and counted it as 1 card. So first we have this little penguin on ice skates. I stamped him out with the VersaFine Clair ink and covered him with clear embossing powder, and then used colored pencil for his skates, his beak, and his belly. And then I used blue tinsel embossing powder and I think it's called rainbow glitter embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, and this one is just some Ranger blue tinsel embossing powder, and it doesn't have a sentiment on it, so I put on the back, "Snow much thanks." So if you wanted, you could stick this in a thank you card. I used some blue and white twine from Dollar Tree on there as the little tassel, and I put a couple of knots in it so it wouldn't come unraveled. The second one,
I love you.
I love you too, baby. The second one has a red and white, like tinsel looking twine that I got from Michael's. No, Hobby Lobby, when I went shopping for Christmas supplies this year. And I did everything in white, super fine embossing powder. I did color in his hat and scarf and mittens with a gel pen. And then I put a little bit of clear glitter. First I was gonna color this in with blue gel pen, and it wasn't working. So I smeared it so that some of that color would go over the white embossing powder, because I just wanted a little tint, not too much. And then I put some Nouveau shimmer, aqua shimmer pen, clear glitter over it. And I stamped out those little dots and colored those in with a white gel pen, and I put "Wanna Build a Snowman." And the third one, I did the snowflakes in all different colors, some platinum embossing powder to kind of match the brown that was in the pattern paper, and some steel navy, some cool jade, The Steel Navy is Simon Says Stamp, the Cool Jade is Nouveau embossing powder, and the Platinum is by Ranger. Then I cut out a snowflake is Winter's Butterfly, and I just cut around the words to make it look pretty and put it on there. And I used some of the pom-poms on red twine, but I had to split the red twine, split it down the middle in half, because they would not, the needle would not go through the pom-poms with a whole thing of twine on it. So I guess it depends on how thick your twine is. I don't know if I would do that again though, because as you can see up here, because I split the twine apart, it's starting to like unravel and spread apart. I did knot it at the end, but if this unravels right here, it's just going to break off anyway.
I can't find my due-date on my tape runner.
Alright, well, we'll talk about it after I do this video.
Can I use your tape?
Nope, wait till I'm done making this video. Go on. So, card 3 is a shaker. If I had it to do over again, oh, they're starting to move now. For a while there, those pom-poms I put in there weren't moving. One of them is starting to move. It might be because there's so much foam tape on here. It's not really... I shouldn't have... See, look, it's not sticking. I'm probably going to have to remake this card or re-glue it. I thought that the stickiness on the 3 layers of foam, craft foam, would be enough to keep it together, but obviously it's not, because I already see a sequin sticking out, so I won't do that again. I'll be using my glue to make sure all those layers stay together. Anyway, I used that pattern paper. I cut it with a rectangle die and stuck the inner part right inside against the card base. Used the other one for the frame. And I got 3 snowmen there, kind of sticking with the colors that were in the kit, blue, red, and a little bit of brown. And of course white for their bodies. And I used Copic markers on this, but I also use a BV00 for the shading on my snowman. I did that for almost every snowman in this kit. And I put a lot of different like snowflake, glitter, or sequins, and some regular cup sequins in there. I thought it turned out pretty cute. This is heat-resistant acetate, but even though I was careful, it still buckled a little. And that Winter Hello is stamped out and embossed with Steel Navy by Simon Says Stamp. And that's it for card 3. Card 4, oh look, I'm finding little beads from that. Card 4, I used an alcohol ink background with some foil on it that I did in preparation for Christmas cards. That was a video for you guys that I did. I never got to use it for Christmas cards, but I did end up using it for this card. I have a black base. I used that thanks die again with some Doodlebug glitter paper. Actually, I think that's Pixie Dust by Lawn Fawn, because I got that in the scrapbook stuff I got for Christmas, scrapbook.com. But I put it up on 2 layers of white cardstock. This little guy was heat embossed, stamped out with VersaFine Clair, heat embossed with clear embossing powder. And I Copic colored him as well, and I put some glossy accents on his nose, his hat brim, and the pom-pom. Also the round part of his mittens. I used the DIY Distress Oxide, and I did it in the shaded lilac and spun sugar. Then I used it to make the hills, because that color seemed to go well with the color scheme of the alcohol ink. And then I stamped out the igloo on that same Pixie Dust. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. Glitter paper by Lawn Fawn, but I did it in Catherine Pooler's Aquatini ink. And then I put some glossy accents around the edges and around the door. I had to redraw some of the lines with a cracked pistachio distress marker because somebody touched it with wet hands when it was drying on the table and smudged out my igloo lines. So there are the downfalls to using a water-soluble ink, pigment ink. And then I also used my Snowfall stencil from Simon Says Stamp and put some Nouveau Glimmer Paste in Blue Topaz on there as Snowfall in the background. And that's it for card 4. Card 5, I used pattern paper to cover these guys up. I wanted only their heads showing, more Copic coloring. And at this point I hadn't used the penguins except for once, so I figured I better throw him in the middle and then have each of them looking at him. And then I did a border of pattern paper on the top and the diagonal. And I stamped out snowflakes and some of those plus signs and circles in blue, lighter blue, and red. I heat embossed all of them, and I filled the circles with glossy accents. I used my Lawn Fawn lobster red ink to stamp out "Thanks so much" with the two little hearts. I heat embossed it with clear embossing powder, but not the thanks, just this part. And then I filled those hearts with glossy accents. Oh, here we go, I'm up to counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Card 6 was basically pattern paper. I used that burlap looking one, and then I used my scale up stitch, border stitch dies from Lawn Fawn to cut out the solid blue and the snowflake. The snowflake paper is popped up on some foam tape. I also used the same navy blue from the pattern paper to stamp out "There's Snow One Like You" and heat emboss that with clear embossing powder. The little circles in the pattern paper I put some glossy accents on, and I heat embossed snowflakes in Wow Superfine White, and also did those circles with clear or glossy accents. I put that down on craft, and then I put it on that, I think it was Island Blue card base. And that's it for card number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, card number 6. Card number 7 is one of my favorites. So we've got these snowmen with a distress blended background. It's oxide blended. I tried to do like a Northern Lights, and if you look carefully, you can see the streaks of purple and the streaks of yellow. But that's actually green. I used Twisted Citron, Mold Lawn. I used all the purples, Wilted Violet, Dusty Concord, and Seedless Preserves. And then I used a combination of Faded Jeans, Chip Sapphire, and Black Soot around the edges. I used white paint mixed with water and some of this leftover iridescent watercolor ink from a previous Hero Arts kit as the stars and snow in the background. But if you look carefully, these guys were stamped out, VersaFine Clair, heat embossed in clear embossing powder, and colored with Copics. And they were put on the black card base, but they are by themselves. So you have this little snowy scene with that northern, I mean, you can still kind of see the Northern Light look I was going for. I just wish I could have made it a little brighter. You can see the yellow light rising in the background with the trees, the silhouette of the trees. And I put some tumbled glass on the edges of the snow hills, and then I went over them with the Nuvo Clear Glitter Shimmer Pen and stamped out "Missing You." I also put a strip of white paper here in case anybody wanted to write anything else. And I really like the way that turned out. Card number, oh my god, now I'm losing count constantly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Card number 8. What? Out there on your desk. Card number 8. I really wanted to make use of those pom-poms. So far they had only been inside the shaker and on the bookmarks. They weren't really a part of a focal point on a card. So I took, pardon me, I'm so sorry. Go ask your sisters for help, and please do not bother me again until I'm done. Sorry. So we've got another piece of pattern paper on a fog gray card base. It's popped up on foam tape, and then I cut out one of the sentiments from that pattern paper that had all the different words on it. I put some glossy accents on the snowflakes, and then I made sure these fit first. So I lined them all up, made sure they would complete the square, and then I stuck them on there with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And I cut this little guy out from one of the larger square sentiments in the pattern paper and covered him with glossy accents. And then inside, I used one of those rectangle sentiments from the pattern paper, so it will say "Happy Winter Season." I'm sorry. She interrupted me so many times I lost my train of thought. Card number 10, or 9, I used that diagonal plaid paper, that pretty blue and white one, but I ink blended it with my handmade stencil here, the circle stencil. So the inside of that circle is in tumbled glass, and then I covered it up, and I did the outside in peacock feathers. I then used the Cool Jade Nouveau embossing powder to stamp out Winter Hello, and I used a combination of Wow Pearl, Wow Superfine White, Ranger Silver, and Wow Cloud 9, which is like a silvery, glittery embossing powder to do all the different snowflakes. And then I used Memento black ink and stamped out an ink glue on some more of that Lawn Fawn Pixie glitter paper. Popped it up on foam tape, and that's all done. Card number 10 is still wet because it was almost dried and somebody set something in it, so I had to put more glossy accents on it. So for card 10, we used that lighter blue as a card base. I ink blended the background and covered up this part with a piece of post-it tape, so I could have like my ice rink there. I ink blended in Blueprint Sketch, Chip Sapphire, and Black Soot. I've put some more of that iridescent watercolor and white paint mixed with water on there as the snow. And then I cut out the silhouette of the ice skater again in regular black cardstock, but I covered it with what was left of the iridescent watercolor mixed with water. I also put it on the ice rink, or the ice, but you can't really see it with the glossy accents on it. She's popped up on foam tape. He's looking at her in adoration. Some more Copic coloring there with some bees and some YG, I think YG09 and YG03. Kept it simple, but then I covered his nose and all of the ice in glossy accents. I really wanted to use the pom-poms again, so I used them as like a party banner or maybe some party lights above them while they're ice skating. And the inside says, "I'm snow in love with you," because he's looking at her with that lovely light in his eyes. And then a bonus. We have a bonus card. So I took a piece of white cardstock and I cut it out to be, I wish I remembered the measurements, but I can give them to you. 9 1/4 by 9 1/4 by 8, because I wanted to make sure it fit in the envelope. And then I cut out a slightly smaller white panel of Bristol to make sure that I could ink blend on it. I ink blended with Shaded Lilac, Wilted Violet, and Seedless Preserves, but I also used Dusty Concord on the outside edge of the card base itself, so I had a slightly different purple look. I used some Wink of Stella on the ice and shaded it with my BG, my very light BG Copic markers. And I wanted them to look like a little family, you know, ice skating and having fun. So I put the igloo in the back. That is heat embossed with some clear glitter embossing powder. Used some more of my BGs to highlight that and make it look like ice. This gray you see right here was not supposed to be there. I thought when I replaced my Wink of Stella pen that I bought clear. Apparently I bought silver. There was nothing to do but go with it. I wasn't doing the whole card over again, so I just kind of made it like their pathway in there. And we have a little boy here with blue skates, a little girl with double pink bows, a little girl with one blue aqua bow, and one little boy with red skates. And then you have the mom with her eyelashes, and the dad with his bow tie and glasses. The mom and dad are popped up on foam tape, and I put out "Thanks for my gift" and cut it out with a Lawn Fawn sentiment banner. And that's it. I also stamped an envelope with some snowflakes from the kit. And this card fits in this envelope. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the cards for this kit. I did notice that nobody else had their cards out for this kit yet except for 1 or 2 cards. So hopefully you guys get some use out of this. I know I said I was going to do a giveaway. Hopefully I can get it done before the 1st. If not, there will be one the first week in January and then probably 2 weeks into January. I already have what I'm giving away. I just got so much to do. I don't want to do the giveaway, forget about the deadline and all of that. So let me just get the craft room cleaned and rearranged, and we will take it from there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the cards and the bonus card. If you like what you see and you're not subscribed, please do so, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you can hear about all the giveaways. We hope you have a wonderful, happy New Year and a safe New Year, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.